remember? All the celebrating. People took to the streets. All happy that Joe Biden won. Yeah. How funny. Warning, cursing is about to happen. Warning, there might be some cuss words.
Where the f*** are the Joe Biden supporters? I can tell y'all why I support Trump. Tell me why y'all support this motherfucker. Ain't doing shit but f***ing us up every day. F***ing us up.
That's when reality sets in.
I don't see shit. Anybody saying nothing. They had a whole lot of energy. When my motherfucking president was in there. And everything that Trump did, I told you, I support him for this. I support him for that. I had to stand behind that shit every fucking day. I had to stand behind why I supported President Trump. I don't hear no motherfucking telling me why they support Joe Biden or all this goofy shit.
Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Oh yeah, I've been hearing about this all day long. There is a Twitter account called Take the Owl. These are people that are making videos talking about how much they regretted voting for Biden. Now, we all know how Biden really got into office. That doesn't make a difference, but there were some people out there that actually voted for the dude. And what do we get? Where's your cryptos going? Where's that stock market going? We're in a currency war. This is why you got so much manipulation going on. Biden and them trying to figure out a way to keep Russia and China from going to gold-backed currencies. They're lying about our economy so the Democrats could try to stay in power. What good have they done anybody? Seriously. Look at your cryptos, man. It's terrible. It's terrible. You see, I didn't think the government was going to allow cryptos to exist next to the CBDC. I said, well, one thing you got to watch out for is if China pulls the plug, then you're going to be in some major trouble. Then they said, and then they outlawed mining and cryptos took a hit, but rebounded. I'll admit it. Then the El Salvador president decided to make Bitcoin his national currency. I said, that's a big boost. That's a huge boost for cryptocurrencies. It helped, not right away, because it dropped big time in value. You see, the United States doesn't want countries sneaking out of their little grubby control. They kicked El Salvador out of the SWIFT system just like they did Russia. And then those two countries turned around and found alternative ways to circumvent the sanctions. There are a lot of countries out there right now saying the United States has really screwed up. They have been getting too carried away. Let me reword that because I'm going to translate for you. The Democrats have been getting too carried away using the SWIFT system to punish countries by destroying their economies. Now you got people turning away from using the US dollar as the reserve dollar. Russia doesn't use them. China's not using them. Saudi Arabia is now accepting the India rupee, the Russian ruble, and the Chinese yuan. They are allowing alternative currencies to pay for oil. And there's other countries now joining. Iran is now deciding to do business in their own currency, and they are not allowing the US dollar to be used at all in their country. They will open up their arms to other countries and other foreign reserve notes, but they absolutely are shutting out the United States. You see, all these countries relied on the US dollar. It was the reserve dollar. But once they started getting treated like that, it's just a matter of time before one of these big countries made that move, and then everybody else followed. Cryptocurrencies are getting hammered. There are some things about cryptos I have to show you that need to be brought to your attention if you are unaware of them at the moment. Before we get started though, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel and I surely do appreciate it. Oh, yeah, right now is the time to be buying gold and silver. Sure, it's going down too, but not by much. And it's going to rebound here shortly. So you want to buy now because it's coming out right now that the comics in the LBMA, they don't have silver. They've been trying so desperately to cover their short contracts, but the problem is back in the olden days, they used to be able to scare amateurs, speculators, and people would panic and sell their silver. That's not working anymore. And nobody's panicking over the paper market of gold and silver on the stock market. Man, I'm so pumped for silver and gold holders, it's not even funny. I know right now it doesn't look good, but trust me, you're way better off than you think. You just don't know it yet. Anyways, when you go to buy your gold and silver, go check out our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, Pimpy, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. Alrighty, let's take a look at this hot mess. So the Dow Jones since the beginning of the year is already down, 17%. Bitcoin is down 57%. Ethereum is down 59% from their high marks in November. All this now is just panic selling. Everybody's dumping because they don't know what's going on. Everybody is panicking and selling. Remember I told you there's going to be this crash that comes that wipes out most of the cryptos, and there might be a handful of them that survive. This looks like that crash because some of these guys are already talking about bankruptcy. We'll get into that here in just a moment. Anyways, Bitcoin down to $28,592. Ethereum's at $1,936. You have the New World Order coins, XRP's at 38 cents. Wow. Cardano's at 49 cents. Solana is at 44 cents. Dogecoin's at 8 cents. Polkadot's at $8.83. Shiba, 4011. I still have my Shibas and I still have my Satamas. I told you I'm going to ride those boys all the way to the end or till they rebound. Satama coins, just keeping it in my Coinbase wallet. So if they ever do recoup, I'm looking pretty good, that's for sure. Crypto.com's at 17 cents. Obviously, it's not looking very good for cryptocurrencies. And for some strange reason, Satama decided they wanted to do something good today. Although they dropped since the last time I talked about them. They're at 8.022. Over the last hour, though, they are down 3.2%. Over the last 24 hours, they are up 13%. Over the last 7 days, they have lost 64% of the value. Over the last 14 days, they have lost 60% of the value. And over the last 30 days, on average, 69.5% of the value has been lost. Gold and silver taking a small shellac in themselves. But here's the thing, there are no precious metals. As a matter of fact, somebody laid out a scenario that sounded kind of scary, but I anticipated it. I spoke about it. I said, even if they knock gold and silver all the way down to $1 an ounce, don't fall for it. Not that they're going to do that, but this person said that right now there is a currency war going on, and gold and silver stuck in the middle. Not to mention the fact that the physical gold and silver is low. They don't have enough to cover their short contracts. So here's what's being anticipated, because they've done this before in the past. You're going to see that these banks drop these paper. We're talking about paper, gold, and silver. They're going to drop a ton of them on the market. And I mean smacking gold and silver way down is what people are anticipating because they learned from history. Causing people to panic and sell is what they're hoping will happen. Then they're going to try to gobble up as much as possible and cover as many contracts as they can. And then that's it. There's no more manipulating the markets. And that is coming around here very soon. So like I said, I don't panic when it comes to gold and silver. You don't buy them as an investment. You buy them as your store of wealth. You buy them to protect yourself from inflation. You buy them to protect yourself, obviously, from a market crash. All those chants about Bitcoin being the next gold and Ethereum the next silver. Look, I was rooting for it. The smart thing would be that they team up. A reason why a lot of these other cryptos are dying is because in their reserves, is a lot of Bitcoin, which is terrible because everybody knows that cryptocurrencies mostly move up and down together. So I guess they never forecasted the idea that Bitcoin might tank. And if you're using them as your money reserves to protect your cryptos, well, everybody's learning a quick lesson right now. What these crypto companies should have done was, yes, invest in gold and silver. There's going to be a liquidity problem here really quick. And if that happens, it's wiping out all of cryptocurrencies. And I know there's some of you out there, you love your crypto so much that no matter what you hear, you're like, it's not going to happen. It's happening. Silver, $20.67 an ounce. Look at this from this morning. It opens up, the East Coast does, small dip, goes up, and then slams all the way down, and then try to recover, and still being screwed with. That's okay. We know time is running out for this manipulation, and it is almost here. Everybody is waiting for the inflation report. By the way, they're reporting 8.5% inflation, which is a lie. It's now double that. It's closer to 17. That's the real inflation numbers. This administration is just going to continue to lie, lie, lie. They want so bad, desperately, to have these people all reelected so they can keep control of the House and the Senate, because they're not going to be able to keep it. Once the Republicans are in there, you could say goodbye to both the president and the VP, because the game plan is to impeach them for all the crap that they're doing. They're incompetent. There's no vote of confidence. Look what they're doing to our economy. Biden came in and, with the stroke of a pen, stopped the pipelines. Now look at how much we're paying for gas. He could fix that, but he don't want to. Now there's a diesel shortage, which means they can't make deliveries for your supplies. Yep, you see all that coming. Not to mention there's over 300 food processing plants within the last 2 years around the world, magically all caught on fire, which means our food supply is about to be drastically reduced. Let's get back to where we are here. Gold, $1,822 an ounce. It is going through all the same struggles as silver, obviously. But the percentage of loss of gold and silver is minor compared to cryptocurrencies, is minor compared to even the stock market. This is what happens. Yes, they all fall together. But I thought for sure stock market would crash a whole lot more than cryptos. I was wrong on that one. But even so, they're taking huge losses. And this administration is trying to do everything possible to artificially pump this bad boy up. It's looking really bad that he has a crash right before midterms. So again, gold at $1,822. Buy. And I mean buy. A collapse of Tether could be crypto's Lehman Brothers moments. Some of you might be a little too young to remember this, but in 2008, 2009, the Lehman Brothers, the too big to fail banks, crashed, which put the whole entire world on the verge of total economic collapse. We bailed them out, and we had quantitative easing ever since, which is just artificially pumping up the stock market. But eventually, it's going to have to drop. So, collapse of Tether could be crypto's Lehman Brothers moment as the world's top stablecoin begins to wobble and major tokens plummet. Yeah, it's not looking good. So Terra already collapsed. By the way, following Terra's collapse, the $81 billion Tether stablecoin began to deviate from its dollar peg. That's not good. Crypto markets are getting roiled this week following the collapse of Luna and its related stablecoin Terra, which deviated by more than 50% from its dollar peg. That company was using Bitcoin as their reserve dollars. So if Bitcoin goes down along with you, so much for having a currency support for your crypto. So the implosion of Terra has spread to other stablecoins in recent days, including Tether, which is the largest stablecoin. So investors have long questioned what reserves Tether has to back up the $1 peg, and the stablecoin traded off as much as 5% at 95 cents earlier today. These people did build up reserves, but they used other cryptocurrencies, which is causing this huge wave of a crash because each one is relying on the other one to support them in case of a crash. Well, I guess these people never thought that if they all crash together, then what happens? I said this last night, and I'll say it again today. If I may make a suggestion to you crypto people, and I'm talking about those creators of cryptos, next time, back your cryptocurrencies up with gold and silver, and it won't be so dramatic of a crash. So yeah, there's a crash going on, and stable coins are dropping out. Some cryptos are crashing. Let's see if they'll be able to recover. I doubt it, but we'll see. Here's what you need to know about Coinbase. We know that Coinbase shares plunged almost 80% from November high amid sell-offs of crypto stocks and funds. Shares of crypto-related companies and funds ended sharply lower Monday, with Coinbase shares finishing at the lowest levels in history, as both Bitcoin and major U.S. stock indexes finished at multi-month levels. While we know that Bitcoin somehow, some way, seems to be tied together with the S&P. At one time, the S&P and cryptos were moving together up and down, and then all of a sudden, that tether between them broke. So that was a good thing. But now they've reconnected again, is what's going on. This means that people aren't treating cryptocurrencies as actual currency. They're treating them as assets, high risk assets. And that's why everybody's dumping them and going into physical gold and silver. Don't be fooled by the drop in the value. That has nothing to do with supply and demand, nothing at all. So Coinbase is taking a heavy hit, a huge one. I said the crypto exchange's shares fell more than 77% from the all-time high. So there's a possibility that Coinbase could go bankrupt. And guess what that means for you people with your crypto coins on there, including me? You ready for this? Coinbase will keep customers' balances in event of a bankruptcy. Bearish market takes toll of financials in first quarter. So if you have cryptos on Coinbase, you might want to think about moving them somewhere else because they're on the brink of going bankrupt. So not only do you got cryptos that are crashing and burning out, stable coins that are crashing and burning out, exchanges are crashing and burning out. I told you when the dust is settled, there'll only be a handful of these left over. And although Bitcoin and Ethereum are taking a major hit, I do believe those two absolutely will be at least amongst the group of surviving cryptocurrencies. But if this thing keeps rolling like it is, this is bad for crypto people. Now, like I said before, you haven't experienced any loss of value until you sell your coins. So if you've already lost a ton of money, the worst thing you could do is sell. You already have this big of a hit against your cryptos. You might as well just write it out and see if they can rebound. If they rebound, then you didn't lose any money, right? Because you never sold your cryptos. So if Coinbase goes bankrupt, that means they could take all your cryptos with them. That's part of the bankruptcy. Something to think about. Why you should have a nano ledger or transfer your coins over to a wallet. Do something, because they might not be there after a while. So you see, it isn't just cryptocurrencies, tech stocks too. Look at hedge fund loses $17 billion in tech sell-off in one of history's biggest dollar declines. Yikes. Tiger Global Hedge Fund has reportedly lost $17 billion during the year's major tech sell-off. Citing estimates from LCH Investments, the FT reported in just a few months, around 2/3 of the gains the hedge funds has seen since its 2001 launch has been wiped out. Wow, that is painful. They've been around since 2001 and 2/3 of all their gains are gone. Who knows, at this pace you might start seeing hedge funds disappear. I mean, look at Michael Saylor. He bought a ton of Bitcoin. So all those hedge funds that bought into Bitcoin, I'm sure it's affecting it big time. So anyways, we know Tiger Global, look, 2/3 of all the money they've earned since 2001 are gone. That's a bad situation. Right here it goes on to say, but against the backdrop of a sustained sell-off in global equity markets, with the tech sector in particular seeing a major decline, Tiger's hedge fund lost 43.7% in the first few months of this year. That's what I was talking about. When it starts to crash, the market, it goes down gradually. It just doesn't drop straight down, although you wouldn't know it. I mean, literally, this is a serious drop. It's not like they haven't seen it before. It's happened before. That doesn't mean it can't rebound. So crypto people, if you haven't sold yours already out of panic, my suggestion would be just leave them alone. If they drop, they drop. And some of you might have thousands of dollars still in the cryptos. That puts you in a tough place. I understand that. That's a tough choice to make. But if you had that much faith in cryptocurrencies from the get-go, then you should not be panicking, and you should know that should be a long-term hold. Once the cryptos stop bottoming out, pay attention to them, and then start accumulating while they're cheaper. Think cost average. So keep your head up. Like I said, I got my 2 cryptos. I'm just holding on to them and see what happens. If they make it, they make it. If they don't, they don't. I use discretionary funds. As for gold and silver, well, they're the victims, and I think cryptocurrencies are as well. It's not just the economy and anything like that. We really are in a currency war. The economy's been crashing since January. We're already in May, but now we're really starting to notice it because a lot of people keep thinking it's going to rebound, and when it didn't, that's when panic set in. So it's too late for me to pull my cryptos out now. There's too much of a loss. The smart thing would be just to keep it in there, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. We'll see what happens from there. But I definitely have to find a way to get my coins off of Coinbase. I got a nano ledger that I never use. I might also put it to use and move all my cryptos away from that platform until we know what's going on with them. So you guys telling me, is this the death of cryptos? I mean, they've lost a lot of value before. 2017, you guys know about this. Got up to about $20,000, then dropped all the way back down to $3,000. That's a pretty good hit. They obviously recovered. But hopefully a lot of you diversified your portfolios. You have some gold and silver, some cryptos, and some other stocks that you have faith in. Everything is getting hit right now, and we're going to have to ride this out. Anyways, that's it for now, you guys. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.